All right, what's up there, Fangs and Infernos? As always, we are super duper stoked to hang out with you guys. We really appreciate all the love and support that you show our show, as well as the cons that we get to go to by you guys attending them as well. And most importantly, so much love and support for the people that are gracious and give us their time for a great conversation. That's going to start again right now. Bobby McFarlane, first and foremost, thank you so much for some of your time today, and we really, really appreciate it. How is New Jersey HorrorCon treating you so far?
It's been awesome, super fun. I actually kind of like how it's set up. It's like just droves of people coming through and just circling around, and get to hang out and be friendly with them, you know, to my heart's content.
Absolutely, for sure. And of course, you are involved with easily the most dominant horror franchise that's out right now in the Terrifier universe, but also, how is it watching from your perspective the continued growth of the franchise, and also how did you get into stunt work?
It's shocking to see the growth. I mean, I didn't even know about the franchise until I got hired for 3, and then watching it, I was just like, okay, these are pretty awesome. And then being in 3 and then seeing it explode, it was just like, what is happening? What is happening right now? So that's been crazy. Getting into stunt work, I got into stunt work because I'm a martial artist. I studied 15 different martial arts, different periods of time. Did one martial art for about 30 years. 10th degree black belt in that martial art.
Wow.
And then I was an early adopter in New England of parkour, so I started parkour really early in its like inception. And I had all those skills, and I had always wanted to be a fight choreographer. When I was a kid, I wanted to be like, I was a 6-year-old who was just like, I want to be a fight choreographer. I was obsessed with Jackie Chan, had all of his movies. I was. That's pretty much how I got in. A friend of mine was also trying to get into the industry, and he and I just linked up, started training together, and pushed our way into the industry.
Oh, very, very cool. Are you a horror movie fan, or do you find that action movies are kind of your first and foremost love when it comes to the film industry?
Oh, definitely action movies are more my bag, especially martial arts movies and comedies. I like horror in the comedy realm, like horror comedies and horror adjacent mostly. So like One Cut for the Dead is one of my favorite movies. Tucker and Dale versus Evil, amazing. Besides that, I don't watch too much of the horror franchises. I was very happy when I started watching Terrifier and seeing Art the Clown actually have like comedic beats. I was like, this is awesome. When he pulled out the gun, I was like, oh, that's great action, that's great comedy, that's great horror.
Yes, no, absolutely, especially because like of all of these crazy kills that he's doing with all these insane objects, to just have something as quick and clear as just a gun drawn and a victim taken off is pretty insane, for sure. Devil, my friend, let's kick it up to you.
Well, you were saying, being in the action and stuff like that. I mean, I know you mentioned Jackie Chan. Who else did you look up to wanting to get into that? You said you're going to the fight choreography and stuff like that. What were the kind of action stars or action movies that you liked that inspired you to want to go out and do that?
I mean, obviously, Bruce Lee,
yeah,
Jet Li, those are big ones. The other ones are probably less known to people outside of action, but Scott Adkins is like a big one.
Yeah.
Actually, probably even less known is, I'm terrible at recalling names off the top of my head. Eric Jacobus.
Okay.
Huge fan of his stuff. He has a lot of like YouTube short films. His short films are phenomenal. He like embodies what Jackie Chan did,
nice.
But in a modern way. He has a particular one called Rope-a-Dope, which is one of the best action short films out there.
Oh, nice.
To this day. So it's basically Groundhog Day, but as an action short.
Oh, that's nice. And you also said I know you probably have seen this movie because I remember you saying that you talked about your love of parkour and doing all that. Were you a District B12 fan?
Of course.
That's the greatest parkour movie ever.
I hate to do this because you're trying to roll through a single thing. Can we pause because apparently they need me in there for a photo?
Oh yeah,
Absolutely, no problem. Thank you so much, Fangs and Infernos. We're going to touch base with Bobby again a little bit later, but we're going to sign him off for right now so that he can do his thing. Horns up, Fangs out. It wouldn't be horror, it wouldn't be rock and roll, it wouldn't be action movies without a little bit of excitement, but that's just how everything goes. But we're right back with Bobby to continue having a little bit of fun. So Fangs and Infernos, we appreciate you guys so much. Devil, we're actually going to kick it right back up to you, man. We'll let you finish out this segment.
yeah. I remember we were talking about the parkour and the B12. You know, talk about that movie. I mean, as far as like, especially being a parkour guy, your thoughts about it, and the fact that kind of movie, people who are into parkour, that was a kind of a movie to kind of bridge into that type of action.
So my first question is: are you talking about the original?
Yes,
Yeah, I mean
the French.
Yeah, the French.
Yeah.
Yeah. It stars David Bell. David
Yeah.
Bell, founder of parkour.
Yeah.
So like, yeah. Everyone in parkour was obsessed with that movie when it came out. Yeah, it's an amazing movie. It's a great representation of parkour because David did it, so he wanted to do it authentically. So
Yeah.
he did an amazing job. It's actually kind of disappointing that he didn't do more movies.
Yeah.
But yeah, it's a great movie, and it was great for us to have representation in a movie because back then parkour had like no one knew what it was. So yeah.
Let's say even with that, and even like adding martial arts, like, you know, not as much parkour, but still had a lot of parkour in it. People like Tony Ya doing a lot of the stuff that he does.
Yep.
You know, with all the stuff he's done. You know, just love the fact that, you know, those are representations of a thing. And now, like, you know, now everybody's doing parkour. You see parkour videos all the time.
Everywhere.
But yeah, like I remember just watching that movie and just like even seeing like that one scene in the very beginning where he's like, you know, the cops are coming after him. He has that little slit in the window, and he just goes, and you see like the take of him doing that in real life. It was like, that's insane that he's bouncing off walls and has this small little window.
A friend of mine got booked on one of the procedurals. I don't remember which one it was. One of the FBI's, I think it might have been. But he got to do that exact same stunt through a gate, and I was just like, I'm so jealous. I can do that gag. I want to do that gag in a show or movie. It's just a fun. It's just an undergarb. So yeah.
And then, you know, now adding on to, you know, doing the horror stuff like that. I mean, you're saying like that. Is there a horror figure or like a, you know, someone like, you know, big that like Michael Myers or Jason or Leatherface that you would like to tackle as far as doing that?
I mean, I never get to choose my job, so I don't even bother to dream about choosing a job because that's just not how it works. I mean, I'm happy to do anything. I actually, as much as I'm not a big like watcher of horror, I love shooting horror. I love being in horror. I've gotten the chance to actually do some acting in a couple of horror movies recently, which are named NDA and NDA. But I really love the genre for being able to perform it. I feel like it really actually fits my acting style really well. I can act like evil characters really comfortably, and it's really fun for me to get to do that.
I feel like you, Doug Jones, and Jason Lyles need to get together and just. You guys need to just get together with them for coffee.
Yeah. Especially with being like a stunt person too, because I'm a huge Zoe Bell fan. Like she was one of the first like people that I started following as being like a stunt person. Yeah. Because I love her stunt work, and then obviously her going into Quentin Tarantino and started doing more of the other side of the camera and doing the acting. Yeah. You know, what other you talk about stunt workers and stuff like that. Obviously, you talk about that. Were there stunt workers that you kind of watched and followed and kind of like wanted to kind of base your career off of too?
Yeah, I mean, I don't know that any of them would be recognizable names to most people, though. Yeah, there are a couple of guys who, I mean, even now there are guys in the stunt world who are doing things that no one else is doing that are amazing, and I feel like even though they're getting a little bit of fame and getting a little bit of exposure, it's not enough. They need more representation. Like, I think one of the biggest ones for me right now is Felix Batcourt. He's an incredible stunt and his choreography it's a very unique style. It is beautiful. It's everything I want choreography to look like. I got to do a seminar with him not too long ago, and even just doing a one-day seminar with him changed my entire style of my own fighting and my own choreography. So he's someone I think people should be looking out for, and I think he's going to be in bigger and bigger things.
And then you were talking about, the acting and stuff like that. Is that something you want to kind of cross over? Someone like Kane Hodder and all that, who was known as a stunt guy, but now is kind of became a leading man. Do you have any interest and stuff like that of possibly going on maybe on that side of the camera as yourself versus being a stunt?
It's one of those things that if it happens, I'll be totally cool with it. I do enjoy acting now. I actually, when I got into stunts, I was like, I'm never going to act in any way, shape, or form. I was terrible at it. And then stunts ends up being like, as you get more into it, you realize that acting is part of it. It's just a different style of acting. And then as I got further into that, then I started getting a few like stunt acting roles. I was like, okay, well, I have to act. And then I started like studying acting techniques. I actually came across a book. I really can't remember what it was called, but it had a really great methodology for approaching acting that completely changed my entire viewpoint of how acting worked. And I went from being so not confident, like I couldn't act my way out of a paper bag, to suddenly being like, oh, I get it. Oh, this changes everything. And it changed my acting overnight. Nice. And now I feel like comfortable. I'm not amazing, but I went from terrible to goodish, and that was a big leap. So yeah, I would take those roles if I got them, but it's not something like I'm actively pursuing or going after. Yeah. It's just
I'll tell you, Devil, I feel like Bobby's reaction to would love to double for Doug Jones might have been the answer to our dream job question.
Yeah. No, I mean, I'm a big fan of his in general, but also just
as are we.
He is my height and weight. I used to be actually even skinnier than I am, and I was dead on his height and weight.
Oh, nice.
He would, like, that would be the dream double job.
Yeah, we got to meet him at a different con, and he was so nice. Like, he was so awesome.
Like
on an epic level of like niceness, where he was like, he wanted to take photos with us, our girlfriends, all these different photos. He's like, I want to take a photo where all of you are touching my face. I now want to take a photo where I'm touching just the ladies' faces. It was amazing. He was such a sweetheart. I'm from Salem, Massachusetts, so obviously Hocus Pocus is kind of one of our Bibles and stuff like that. But of course, with Pan's Labyrinth, Hellboy, everything that like Devil's into, just meeting him with that amazing catalog was so cool to get to chit chat with him for a little bit. But despite the fact you've got a couple of movies titled NDA and NDA there, Fangs and Infernos, anything that you can let the Fangs and Infernos know about what you have coming up, or just goals or plans for the rest of this year into 2026, we'd love to hear a little bit based on what you can talk about.
Based on what I can talk about? That's about it.
That's amazing.
Were you listening, Fangs and Infernos?
So I've been lucky enough to get a good amount of work in the last couple of years. There's a lot of actors my height and weight who happen to be starring in things. So, some of the featured movies are this con, or maybe having prequels that are shooting now, and I got to be in them recently. There's a couple of new movies coming out that I got to be in. One I got to play one of the big baddies, and got to actually flex some acting and look like terrifying. And unfortunately, NDAs for everything. But
for sure.
Yeah, so I've gotten to work on I think 4 different horror franchises just this year.
Oh, nice!
Very cool.
So I'm not surprised that I'm kind of ending up in that niche, because Slender Man here, but but it's kind of happening, and I'm really enjoying it because the best things to work on are comedies and horrors. They're amazing to work on so far.
Absolutely. And a final fun little question from us. Do you ever get any like kind of comedy chuckles out of like action stars like a Jackie Chan that does their own stunts and you're like, stop making it so I can't work on your movie?
Yeah. Yeah, I mean, but also if you, I don't mind an actor who does their own stunts if they can do their own stunts.
Yeah.
That's the key. We do have some actors who want to do their own stunts because they see the glory in it, but it's just like, that's fine, but I will make you look cooler if you let me just pretend to be you for a minute.
Yeah.
And then everyone will think you did it. It's fine. Like, people aren't going to give us credit for it, let's be honest.
Yeah.
Let me step in. I specialize in doing all the things that they want me to do in this scene. I will make you look cooler, and then, you can just take the credit afterwards, I guess, because that's some of them do that anyway. There are very few actors, even actors who say they do their own stunts, very few actually do their own stunts. Actually, Lauren Rivera is one of the very few who does most of her own stunts.
Yeah.
But even she, like, for various reasons, insurance or other things like that, big bumps. Jenna Helmuth does her big stunts. So Jenna Helmuth went through that table, went over the other table, body slammed to the ground. She took those because they're brutal and we can't risk injuring the stars.
Yeah.
But Lauren was amazing. She crushed it through that entire fight. It was actually really nice to work with her just because she was so good at like moving that I didn't have to treat her like an actress. I could treat her like a star. Just do it.
Very, very cool for sure. Well, Bobby, we know that you've got fans that you want to meet, and we really appreciate your time, but we'll see you throughout the weekend. But first and foremost, thank you for some of your time. We really appreciate it.
Thank you, Brian.
Oh, yeah.
Fangs and Infernos, thank you guys so much. Make sure that you're supporting, Bobby and all of his upcoming NDAs and all of the fun stuff that he's got coming your way. We really appreciate his time. We will see you guys really soon. He's the devil, I'm Vampire, but more importantly than that, he is Bobby McFarlane. We appreciate you guys so much. We'll see you soon. Horns up. Fangs out.